I was wondering if you ever felt like you couldn't trust yourself. Maybe you made a really hurtful decision, a decision that turned out really bad for you. You felt really horrible after making that decision, so you started relying on others. Because you couldn't trust yourself anymore. You couldn't go back to that same feeling that you had, and you lost faith. And eventually, you started feeling lost in life. We need to make decision after decision. We cannot freeze time, we cannot stop time, we cannot freeze the situation. The show must go on. Even though we feel lost in the world, I know it is overwhelming to make even the smallest decision now when you lost completely the faith in yourself, but you need to keep going. You need to get this ball rolling because the time and life doesn't stop for you. An interesting analogy to this, to get the ball rolling and make decisions in the very present moment, it's a video game. You may think this is a bit existential, but it's really a good analogy. You have a video game and you need to decide whether or not to jump on this bridge or jump on this cliff, or whether or not you accept this gift from whatever, the farmer, for example. And after that decisions that you are taking in a very exact and a specific moment, this will lead you to another new set of decisions. This video game analogy is really to understand how we are the creators of our lives and how we are defining and deciding what our future would be, kind of thing. We have a lot of power in the creation of our own reality, and decision by decision, decision at a time, even though the trivial ones, we may think, okay, taking or not taking this bus, will influence the next decisions that you make maybe in the next 5 minutes, because maybe you are in the bus and it is really noisy in the bus, so you won't take that call, for example. Maybe that call was important, So every decision, I know it sounds overwhelming, but it is influencing the new set of decisions. To move forwards, we must decide now, make the better decision or the most informed decision that we can at the very present moment, and really expect that decision, it turns out well for ourselves. But honestly, it always does, because we cannot be anywhere else. We cannot be anyone else as well. We need to be in this very moment that we are right now, in our linear path, in our journey, and learn what we need to learn to continue growing in the next level of our lives. So it always turns out well, even though it doesn't feel like it. But remember, you are complete as you are. Your timings are your timings. Your journey is your journey. I wouldn't like to impose my timings. But in this video, my main focus was to try to explore different strategies that help me accelerate my self-awareness to have like a boosting confidence. But this will depend on you and your journey and your timings. So I hope they help you if you want to accelerate a bit this process of self-awareness so you can boost your confidence and try to make the best decision possible at a time. Challenge yourself with trying things outside of your comfort zone. These things don't need to be big, don't need to be big challenges. It could be little things and starting small. So for example, have you ever gone to a dance class before? So something like that with little to zero risk. You can start off by small things. Small things are best when you are not trusting yourself, because I understand and I am aware that if you're not trusting yourself with even little decisions, it's even detrimental to try to do big challenges or to try to challenge yourself far away from your limits, because it could result in the opposite effect and you becoming more fearful to challenge yourself again. For example, I started my YouTube channel, I started traveling solo long ago in the past, but I've never challenged myself to start vlogging or start recording myself in public. So what I did was going on a solo trip, which I was totally comfortable with, but trying to push myself a little bit. So trying to vlog and trying to record myself in front of different people. And it was a challenge for me because I've never done it before. I was okay with recording myself at home and I was okay with doing a solo trip, but I wasn't okay with recording myself in public. But for example, I didn't do it in my hometown or in my current city where I'm living now. So I didn't do it here because it would be much more challenging. I would get more anxious. So what I did was recording myself in a solo trip, so in a place no one knew me, like in the middle of Germany, in the middle of France. And yes, the anxiety kicked in, but I could overcome this fear. I could record myself, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And I found many new things about myself. Go through your childhood and teenage years. It is widely said that most of the work you need to do to understand yourself as an adult is by rediscovering what you like or used to like when you were a kid. And I would extend that because early teenage years are really important because you are trying to differentiate yourself from your mom and dad and also exploring different things. So I would add this to the top of childhood. Particularly for me, things like enjoying period dramas or history films much more than other things, even though I probably couldn't understand history or what was behind this. Maybe it was the fashion, maybe it was the vibes, the atmosphere of the film, I don't know. But this was a thing that I particularly enjoyed. Also, during summer, recreating dances and inventing and creating new choreographies for different pop songs with my friends and with my sister. Dreaming of having like a place to paint paintings, actually, like having an easel. I think it's called easel. So having an easel in my bedroom to paint paintings. Playing the piano and enjoying much more the sad or romantic songs. Always being a curious kid, always asking why, asking the reason behind things. I was probably annoying many people around me, but this is a thing that really defines me, being an inquisitive and curious person. So trying to come back to the past and realize that these things or these characteristics existed long ago in my childhood or in my teenage years boosts a lot your confidence because you understand who you are, not only from the thoughts or the situations you have at this moment, but your past situations or your past experiences and what you used to do and used to like when you didn't have to do as many things as you have to do now. You didn't have as many expectations on you as you have now. You didn't have any time constraints, maybe summers with my friends when I was 11 years old. What I was doing, I was recreating dances. This is what I enjoy the most, or painting stones. So maybe these are the things I like to do, you know? Learn new things by unlearning others. In other words, take back control and create yourself this time. No more unconscious conditioning. Now it's time to reprogram your mind with your beliefs, your values. Take back control. This time you create yourself. Block out the noise outside yourself and spend much more time tuning in than tuning out. And for this, I'll recommend solitude. Spend time alone. Who are you without your friends, without your co-workers, without your partner, without your job? Who are you really? Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when you are not trying to please people, when you are not trying to accommodate to other people's needs? What do you do? In your solitude, you'll rediscover what you like to do, what you prefer to do, what you prioritize, and what you value. So it's actually super useful. I have a quote in my Instagram that I uploaded a long time ago, who was this: who are you without your friends, family, job, partner? Who are you? This is a profound question that you can ask yourself because you will find a lot of insight in this question. And mindful living philosophy. One task at a time. Try to be present. Try to connect with yourself with the present feeling. Then you'll rediscover that you are much more grateful than you are at the moment with just ordinary and daily tasks. And with this mindful practice and mindful living philosophy, it comes meditation, and actually particularly mindfulness practices will help you see what your thought patterns are. You'll be much more prepared for these thoughts when they appear randomly in the daily life, and you'll be much more prepared to know that you have them and that you can respond instead of react to them. By consistently doing this meditation and observing your thoughts, not just being the object of observation, being the observant as well. So when you're observing your thoughts and being detached from your thoughts, you don't identify with them. So you can see what's in there, what's in my mind, what's normally appearing, what triggers do I have, what things I think repeatedly. By knowing all of this, you'll get to know much more about yourself, much more about what you value, what you worry about, what you get triggered about. And yes, this is the end of today's video. I hope you like it. If you like it, click the like button below and I'll read you in the comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!